Purtle here, welcome back to my channel. Kind of looks like I'm holding a golf ball in my mouth. Got our wisdom tooth removed the other day and she's still a little bit swollen on this side. But hey, that doesn't stop me from doing nothing, am I right? Just sitting atop a set of stairs overlooking the ocean. Check this out. Isn't this absolutely glorious? I was thinking about all of the things that I'm grateful for and all of the amazing things in my life, and I had someone share something with me this morning which was quite negative, and it gets me frustrated when people can't see the positives in life. And so I decided to record this video to make you aware that we can focus on the positives and that we should focus on the positives. So, there is always two ways to look at everything. The positive or the negative. We have become so good at focusing on the negatives and not the positives. And we have complete control over the way that we think and how we allow thoughts to impact upon our self-worth and our confidence and our whole outlook on life. If you start to focus on turning negatives into positives, then you will start to live a much happier and better. It's like we've been accustomed to notice and pick out all of the negative things opposed to focusing on the positive things. We are so lucky and privileged to live in a country where we can have a roof over our head and be able to afford healthy and fresh food and to be able to have a job. Whether you like it or not, you have a job, and that's a fantastic thing. But so many people continue to focus on the negatives in the world opposed to the positives. And that just makes you sad. If you allow your circumstances or your situation to define your happiness and your life, then most of the time you're going to be very unhappy with your existence, because there's always something that can be improved in our lives. Not everything's going to go to plan, not everything's perfect all the time. But if you're consistently focusing on those things and focusing on the negatives, then you're never going to be happy, you're never going to be content, you're never going to be able to be grateful and show gratitude for what you have and be appreciative of who you have in your life and what you have. Every single thing can be turned into a positive. The way you view yourself, things that happen throughout the day, things that happen to you or for you, can all be turned around into a positive. And if you start to actively do this, then I can guarantee you that your whole entire life will be improved. Everyone focuses on the what if, like the future outcome. What if I don't get a job? What if I don't find a house to live in? What if I never get a boyfriend? But the thing is, those things are all in the future. There's literally nothing you can do to control them right at this very moment. So why do you allow yourself to get so stressed, so worked up over a potential future outcome that at this very present time you have zero control over? When you focus on the negatives in life, you start to develop a very pessimistic mindset, and you don't allow yourself to actually focus on the good things in life because you're consistently focusing on all the things that are bad or all the things that are going wrong. But if you put those things into perspective and you started to focus on the positives and started to realize how amazing your life is and what things are going well for you, then you can stop being a pessimist and start to be an optimist and start really, really enjoying the life that you have. When you allow yourself to have this negative mindset, you decide that you can't do things before you even give them a crack. So you stop living because you think that if you attempted it, you'd fail, and so you don't even try. And in my books, that is no way to live. Or maybe you scroll Instagram for hours on end every single day, and you start to think that everyone else has a better life than you, and that you lead such a boring or bad or shit life. But as with all of these things, we are the only people responsible for turning any of this around. You can actively think positively. You can actively turn around all of the negatives in your life. You just have to take responsibility for it. How often do you overlook your situation or your circumstances or your environment? Do you ever stop and smell the roses and realize just how incredible our world is? How phenomenal our landscape is? Or maybe you tell yourself that you can't. You want to try something, you want to attempt something, but you've already decided in your mind that you can't. Can't is one of the most limiting words that you can ever tell yourself. Old mate Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I always say what you repeatedly think you believe. So if you're continuously telling yourself that you can't do something, you won't even allow yourself the ability to try. And if you don't try, you're never going to get anywhere. So if you're continuously telling yourself that you can't, then you literally won't. A lot of people don't try things out of fear of failure because they're scared of failure. But failure is actually an extraordinarily positive thing, because what comes out of failure is a lesson. And from that lesson, you can try and try again until you succeed. Old mate Colonel, what's his name? KFC bloke, went to 1,000 different places before someone took on his recipe. 1,000. Do you think you would take on 1,000 no's? I don't know if I would. 1,000 failures before he got a success. Now look at him. He's got franchises all over the world. You are literally capable of turning every negative thought that you ever have into a positive. Every negative situation, every negative circumstance into a positive. Because when you do that, you can start living a life which fulfills you and makes you happy. The thing is though, the only person responsible for doing this is you. You're the only one that can take charge of the way that you think. So I'll give you some prime examples. Negative thought, I am not good enough. Positive thought, I am worthy and I am just as good as every single other human being on this planet. Negative thought, he broke up with me. Positive thought, good riddance, he's now made way for someone who's going to treat me properly. Negative thought, I'm overweight, I don't like my life. Positive thought, I have something that I know that I can achieve and that I can focus on, and that I am capable of doing this. Negative thought, I can't do this. Positive thought, I can do whatever it is that I set my mind to. Negative thought, I'm not as lucky as other people. Positive thought, luck doesn't exist, I'm gonna make my own way. Negative thought, I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. Positive thought, I am more than capable of achieving whatever it is I set my mind to. I can and I will. Negative thought, I am not strong enough to deal with this. Positive thought, I am strong enough, I can and I will deal with this. Negative thought, why would anyone care about me? Positive thought, I have friends and family who I know love and adore me and will care. Negative thought, I'm not clever enough. Positive thought, I am clever enough, and if I don't know the answer, I will ask someone to assist me, or I will research and study until I find the answer. Negative thought, I'm going to fail. Positive thought, I'm going to do everything in my power to achieve what I set out to achieve. We literally have control of the way that we think. And in my opinion, the best way to focus on positive thinking is to habitually practice gratitude. Three things every morning, every evening that you're grateful for. By practicing gratitude, it allows you to focus on the positives in this world and in your life opposed to the negatives. You're continuously looking for things that you're grateful for, things that you're appreciative of, things that make you happy, people that make you happy, and as such, you start focusing on the positives. You start looking at situations as, maybe you saw them as failures previously, but you start realizing that failures are only lessons, and that our circumstances don't define our future, and that things in the future that we can't control now aren't things that we need to be negative about. So guys, there's always two ways to look at things. You can focus on the negatives and you can live a life where you don't feel like you're enough and that you don't feel like, you know, you're living a fulfilling life. Or you can decide, make the choice and the decision to actively focus on the positives in your life and in this world and start living a happier existence. I know which I decide to do, and I hope you guys decide to do that as well. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Comment below if you have any comments or suggestions as to future videos. And give this channel a subscribe because there's a video going out every single day. Health and good vibes.
That tear up my reputation, manipulate my decisions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.